We got ourselves team 1, or rather team 2 together with a full squad. We got Fassel in here. Jesus, we got ourselves Kiosk. Wait. Oh, I love the DK Mog. It is one of the best. Resizia on that Outlaw, and we got ourselves Albeta, and Resizia the Outlaw going to be first up versus Becker as Assassination Rogue. Got a candle in his head. Hopefully he doesn't get found sporting a light like that. Talrion over in team 1. We got ourselves a DV. We got ourselves, Deke, I guess? The big Deke, Lucifer. We got ourselves Astrai, and it's going to be Beggar versus Resizia. It's going to be Assassination versus Outlaw. Both of them are Necrolord. So both of them got them bleeds. You're not going to be able to get away from one another at all. Also, oh, Phantom Knives by Beggar. I was about to compliment on Resizia's Mog, but I guess we can take a look at it now. I like that helm. I like that set. The chest piece and the helm, I think they were trying to go for like a red and white, like a red streak, and the rest of the Mog being white, but I could be wrong on that one. Going to be Beggar trying to see if he can go for a side. Going to be evasion. Out of Resizia being Outlaw, they could use evasion off of it. That's going to be Beggar getting super low. Cheap shot to follow. Beggar chooses to trinket. Do they have anything at all? Vanish. Not going to go for a blinder into Resizia. Resizia still holding onto the Fleshcraft. Literally going through his last dance, just feeling so confident with this duel. Great opener for them. In that evasion, Beggar going for a bit of a reset. It is going to go for a cheap shot. Resizia does have a trinket, does not have a blind. It's going to be Beggar's opportunity to get some damage. Going to be a quick gouge out of Resizia. Trying to disrupt Beggar. Beggar going for a bit of a spikes onto the Kevin Slime. Full Vendetta onto Resizia. Going to be Cloak Shadows on Resizia as they go for a trinket. Trying to Cloak Shadows the Resident Trinket. Get a shadow to Beggar. Got a Resident Trinket of their own. Is that going to explode? It's going to explode big. Beggar super low in health. Disarm. Resizia doesn't really need a weapon, but it's going to be quick blind out of Beggar. Just to create a Fleshcraft opportunity for themselves, maybe a Vanish Resap or Self-Sap. It is going to be Self-Sap. Still have Vendetta rolling onto Resizia. Burn through all those bleeds and poisons onto the Outlaw Rogue. Cheap shot. Resizia has nothing. Does Beggar have enough damage to follow up here? Getting a shot. Let's see if a shift to follow. The dots could be deadly enough. Resizia could be in big trouble. Quick gouge onto Beggar. Does get himself a Fleshcraft off, and that single gouge should be able to recover. I think Resizia tried to maybe go for a bit of a reset. Going to be a re-roll of the bones. Faint, as well as evasion back up, as this Outlaw Rogue is able to get cooldowns defensively back quicker and quicker. Quick grapple around the corner. Does get the spike into Beggar. Should be able to deny him a reset. Is able to get those long-range auto attacks from afar. Get a shot into Beggar. No way out of it. Does Resizia have enough damage? Big pistol shots to get it set up. Potentially huge damage. Potentially huge go. Going to be a Beggar trying to go for a bit of a Phantom Knights. It's going to be Resizia catch himself a reset for a second. Disarm for disarm. But Resizia still got a gun in their back jacket pocket. Quick blind to Beggar. As it goes in for... I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, like a thumbs up. Maybe it's like, very cool. Blind, 1.5 minute CD, very, very cool. Another kid shout out to Beggar, no outs for it. Does Resizia have enough damage? Potentially has enough. It's gonna go through a slice and Dyson. That's cheat death procs for Beggar. That cheat death might actually not be the worst choice for these duels. Not a lot of rogues really go for cheat death, but Resizia does sacrifice that soul for that good luck. Who's gonna be next? It's either gonna be Lucifer in the back, Astrai potentially. Looks like it is gonna be DV Deke. Next up is an Arms Warrior. Interesting. Arms Warrior, Necrolord, potentially either the biggest go possible, because unlikely has a lot of ways to defend himself. Tricky for Resizia as they have evasion up. Gonna be Disarm versus DV Deke as it goes in for a fear. Weapon gone. Has Avatar rolling. Defensive stance is up, so he's gonna reduce some of the damage he's taking, but also reduce some of the damage he's doing. Quick parry to drop that defensive stance immediately. Resizia going for a grapple. Vanish away. Should have a bleed rolling on him. And DV, does he go for the eye? Looks like he doesn't. Resizia is able to escape behind the pillar. Does DV have a way to reconnect? He doesn't. DV also is playing a very, very different trinket. DV is playing the Resolve trinket, which is what a caster normally runs. So DV, he's gonna eat a big stun every single time. First CC he eats is gonna be 20% more effective. For Resizia, if they're playing deeper strat, that could be like a 9-second kidney shot. That's going to be a human racial for DV. Drop it down, Resonance Trinket. Going to be a big burst out of Resizia. Actually, I think it might have been Resizia's Resonance Trinket. DV was able to avoid it completely. Still sitting in defensive stance, hoping the defensive stance will give him enough of a defensive to fight the Resizia. He's reducing his own damage by 20%. Only reducing the damage he takes by 10 since they nerfed it. Evasion now for Resizia yet again. This guy got evasion twice against this warrior so far. Big pistols. DV got himself reflect. Oh, but you can't reflect magic. That ain't magic. Except that sacrifice, that's something about it that's cursed. Someone is definitely cursed. Astra is going to be up next, playing that Affliction Warlock. Got some dots out to Residual, but still went back to set up his full gateway. Residual is going to have to find a way to deal with all those dots, as well as with a different Resonance Trinket. So this Resonance Trinket, this is other Resolve Trinket. The light yellow one, there's an orange one and a yellow one. The yellow one is, you press it, you're immune to 2 interrupts and 2 CC effects. But only 2. It's a 3-minute cooldown, but it does give you a window to basically like a druid convoke it. Astral going for that, or Astral, go, Astral? Oh, there's an L in there. I guess we could call it Astral. Can I call you Astral? I think I'm calling you Astral. Trying to go for a bit of a setup versus Rogue. Does get some kind of dots in there. It's going to be Cloak of Shadows for Azizia as they're removing a lot of the dot damage from Astral's dots. But Astral still has a lot of bursts available. Could go for a Dark Lair setup. It's going to be a Azizia with a quick charge over to Astral, with an interrupt to follow. Fear does connect into the Rogue. Going to be full UA, get it set up. This opportunity for Astral to maybe go for the most amount of damage. Shadow Fury. The Rogue does not have a Cloak of Shadows anymore. Could vanish out. That's going to be full dot stamped up. That's going to be a quick restyle for Azizia. At least able to dip under into stealth. Then it's going to be dots burning him through them. Astra could go maybe for a trinket and get some cast off. Gouge to interrupt the cast. Astra is going to empower all of his dots. Flash cut up for Azizia. Try to do whatever they can. Since they no longer have a Cloak of Shadows, try to see if he can survive all these dots. Astra will no longer with the wall. Does have a dark pack coming back up very, very soon. Try to get the dots rolling into Rogue. So far, the Rogue has been able to survive the full go by the Warlock. Going to be a port on top of the Rogue as they were trying to get some drains off. And Resistance used to start burning off as many calm points into finishers just to potentially get themselves some big damage out. Gonna be a Resonance Trinket absorbed into the Dark Pack, which is super unfortunate. Azizia getting hit with a Fear. Gonna be another set of dots. After going for a full setup, blind for Azizia. Does have plenty of CC. Is dropping down the health quite quickly. Fasto with a Warlock Hellstone on that team though does give Azizia a fighting chance. So Azizia needs to wait until the next Cloak of Shadows and needs to go for as many interrupts as possible in order to get Cloak back quicker. And Astra trying to go for Shadow Fury around the corner. Residual trying to avoid it. Does have a Cloak of Shadows back up in case things really go bad. Astra with the Dark Pack. It's could potentially be an interrupt out of the Rogue. Does go for a vanish in between of these. Potentially interrupted here. Cloak of Shadows getting used, so Astra can't really do much with all the damage. It's going to ramp up their dots, but no more dots out of Astra or Azizia. So Astra does not have the damage they need. Getting pistol shots around the corner, trying to go for a big board. Astra using Warlock Hellstone, getting interrupted on the heal. So Rod is up right now, but it's going to be Seed Pod instead. Azizia with barely any health does end up taking down the Warlock. Lucifer trying to see if they might be able to get a setup. Demonic Gateway coming down. Here they go in. Fast enough versus Azizia, they could potentially get him set up. Lucifer's playing that normal Resolve Trinket, where once you eat a CC, you become immune to the next interrupt or the next CC afterwards. That's going to be the stun to Residual. How did you get a stun on him? Wait, did Residual walk by and then the Wrath was spinning, get the Rogue out, and then threw an axe as Residual round the bend around the corner? That means Lucifer does not have a stun to start off with. Trying to see if he can summon down the Fellow Lord. It is going to be a knockdown, but a quick gouge for Residual onto Lucifer just to keep him controlled. It is going to be an interrupt on the Vile Fiend, which is a fire cast spell. That means you get interrupted on fire. This is the only fire spell that Lucifer has access to. He has Demon Bolt damage or Shadow Flame damage, and as well as Shadow. So Shadow Flame, which I guess is fire, but that one cast of summoning that one pet, that's pure flame damage. So if you get interrupted, you're locked down on fire, which is the only cast that really locks you out of. Residual, seeing all those dots, seeing all those damage. Tyrant, look at the backup out of there. Gonna be the Obelisk on the side. If Residual is careful, should maybe eliminate the Obelisk. Gonna go for a little bit of a self-heal real quick. The Obelisk is still down, letting the Wrathguard and the Tyrant do a bit of damage. It's gonna reconnect back with Lucifer. Next stun, Mortal Coil could be pretty bad for the Rogue. Rogue is just continuing to get some damage in. Should go for evasion against the Wrathguard. There is a lot of physical damage you could avoid. Well, it's gonna be a wall into Lucifer. Resonance Trinket dropping next to him. Is going to go for a massive explosion with the Dark Pack to follow. Mortal Coil to give Lucifer a bit of a heal. Fear onto the Rogue with a drain left to follow. Residual has defensive code back up very, very soon. There's going to be a lot of pets on him. Triple Demon Doggos. That's also going to be Wrathguard doing a lot of damage. Dark Pack to Lucifer is going to get burned through. Cloak of Shadows for Residual. Try to keep the offensive going as the Warlock is going to go as far away as he can. Going to be quick grapple. Does he have a stun to follow? Lucifer tried to set up a Void Elf movement. That's going to be a little bit of a drain live behind the pillar as Residual dives into stealth with an Adrenaline Rush rolling. Lucifer dropping in the Obelisk. And Residual could maybe go for a sap. That's gonna proc his Resonant Trinket. So next Kidney Shot go he goes for is gonna be immune. So he's gonna have to be very, very careful with it. I guess he could sap it off, couldn't he? Pet getting sent in onto Residual does not connect. As the rogue goes in for an ambush, good build up for a big hit shot. That's going to be Mortical into a fear. The Warlock trying to maintain some semblance of control as best as he can. Going to be the rogue charging back to him. Gouge is going to proc the Resonant Trinket, so Residual better be very, very careful. Fleshcraft, does Lucifer have a way to interrupt it? It looks like he doesn't. It's going to be Fellor joining in as Residual dodge it. I think that was just a natural dodge just now. Lucifer trying to drop in even more past time joining the fight. Residual does go for a complete reset, being a Night Elf. They can't shut him out of here completely. It's going to open up into Lucifer really early. It's going to be Obelisk down. Lucifer is taking a bit of damage from Residual, but those pets are actually doing a lot to Residual right now. That's going to be anyone's game, and it looks like that is going to be, oh, the rogue goes for evasion as the Axe Toss comes out from the pet, and the Axe Toss missed him as the rogue went for evasion. The Axe just went flying past him. That is actually so good. That could have been an opportunity for the Warlock to come back, to make a return as they're in the seed pod. Stun him for a second, keep him in place. The trinket is, oh my god, lol. Yeah, that trinket is pretty nutty. Dalaran with that trinket, blind boar Residuum, waited out until Dalaran got a trinket out, and then he's gonna CC it for a moment. If Dalaran got himself the 4-piece, by the way, that's gonna be really, really deadly. Because you could have basically Reckless's uptime constant as long as he's getting those lucky procs on Raging Blows. Disarm onto the Warrior Residual with an evasion. Trying to be extra careful. Gonna be the fear by Dalaran trying to immune and just trying to wait out that evasion. Trinket by Residual just to get some CC set up onto Dalaran. Gonna be Resonant Trinket as the Warrior does go for Enrage Regeneration. Trying to stalwart himself a little bit. Needs to get a bit of healing. Needs to thirst for that blood versus Residual. But the Rogue does go for Reset. Does leave down a Kevin Slime though. So Dalaran at least has something to get a heal off of. Gonna be a quick gouge onto Dalaran. Could have Zerka raged out of it. Dalaran is still in the action though. Charges back to Residual, trying to let him go anywhere. There goes the full Recklessness. Could potentially be big damage. Dalaran's got a low in health. Get a shot to follow. It's gonna be Flesh Cut for Residual. He's trying to play more defense. Dalaran is still sitting CC. Residual thinks, oh wait, what the? Oh no, was that like a? Was there? Was that a Battle Master's trinket or something that gave him borrowed health? Because he had all that health sitting in the stun, it's gone and out. Residual with 1v5, 2 of them being a Night Phase seed pod, which doesn't count towards the kill tally, since technically the seed pod is the one that kills the person. But that's a 1v5 Outlaw Rogue first game of EU right there, boys.